Hi. So my name is Miguel Angel Rojas. I am 45 years old. I served 6 years in the United States Marine Corps as a sergeant. I joined the Marine Corps at the end of 1999. I graduated high school in 1997. Before that, I thought about joining the Navy, and ultimately ended up joining the Marine Corps. After graduating high school, went to College of the Desert for about a year. Realized that that wasn't quite what I was hoping for or looking for in life, and I joined the Marine Corps. And pretty much that's where my life started, and all the opportunities that I have now is where they were created.
Okay. How did your Chicano background shape your military experience?
The Chicano background, I'm first generation Mexican American. My father immigrated from Mexico when he was a boy. He didn't have very many opportunities. He came over here as a young boy, was working in the fields. He had maybe a second, third grade reading level, and he was put to work right away when he got here. So, being a first generation young person in my family, to actually be able to go to school, join the Marine Corps, create a life for myself, my family, it was huge. And I always think back on what my dad went through and what my mother went through in order to get me here. So that Chicano background, it gave me a sense of pride. It helped me to know why, where I was going, what I was doing, and what I used was my parents' shortcomings and what they didn't have. So, keep carrying that knowledge from them, and that sense of pride of meaning I had to succeed, I think is what really helped me out, is, never forgetting, where I came from.
Okay. Can you recall any memorable moments from your time in active duty?
Memorable moments, there's many of them. The thing about being in the military is if you deploy to a combat area, you're gonna have, hours and hours of complete boredom with brief moments of sheer fear and excitement, and that's combat. A lot of memorable moments, it's just hard to just pick one. There was times where there was a lot of bonding between myself and my platoon mates, where we would talk about, home and, everything that's going on that we're not a part of because we're thousands of miles away overseas. And then there's moments also where we're engaged in combat where, everything is going on, everything is chaotic, but you still have your teammates there. And, those are things you never forget. You never forget they're there when there's absolutely nothing going on, and they're still there when the world's in chaos. And there's just memorable moments like that, as you really know who your real brothers and sisters are.
Mm-hmm.
And you never forget that. Even to this day, 20 odd years later, you still remember those times. So they're always memorable. You think about the good times, you think about the horrible times. So to be more specific about it, the whole experience of the military is a memorable time.
Did you encounter any instances of discrimination during your service, and how did you handle them?
Instances of discrimination, well, in my service, I got little bits and pieces of it. The thing is about the military, unlike how it used to be in the the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s, is a lot different than it is now. I think today's society has really, kind of opened up their eyes and their perspective on other races and other cultures. So it's not as bad as it used to be. I can't say firsthand that I've had discrimination happen to me where it actually hurt me mentally, emotionally, or physically. There is racism. It's still alive and well, but personally, my experience with it hasn't been as harsh as I think others have had to face. My African American teammates or my Asian American teammates. Just me personally haven't had to deal with it that much, although I've seen it. I've heard it, I've witnessed it, but me personally, I didn't really have any attacks on me. I think a big part too is being a part of an organization like the United States Marine Corps. Even though we all come from different backgrounds, the training that we've gone through together, it brings us all together. We can talk trash to each other about where each other's from or color of each other's skin, which it happens all the time. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a lot of joking around, but what it actually came down to is no matter what you came from or what color your skin was or what language you were speaking, we all backed each other up with our lives. So, as it comes from the racism and discrimination, yeah, it's there, but ultimately, when you're in a unit like the United States Marine Corps, we're all the same color. We're all the same color. We like to say we're all green.
Can you share any standout memories from your time in the military?
Like the first question earlier about stand-up memories, there's a lot. I've seen friends of mine be killed. I've seen friends of mine do remarkable things when it came to throwing their lives on the line to help others. I've seen people, I've also been a part of, situations where we've helped people who are in dire need. We've saved lives. We've been a part of situations where we had to take lives. And, maybe one that really stands out is losing a friend. And that's something that to this day still stays with me. And out of all the things that's ever happened, good or bad, probably losing that friend and knowing that friend's family is probably the one that is most memorable, as well as one that'll never leave me.
How did you stay connected to your cultural roots while serving away from home?
Stay connected to the cultural roots while serving in the military, as simplistic as it sounds, is getting care packages back from home, asking my family members and my friends when they were sending me packages to send me Mexican food, whether they're Rosarita canned beans, tapatio hot sauce, all those little things that as a culture we use in our daily meals, even seasonings, things like that, just to have a little piece of home. A big part of our Chicano culture is the food we eat. The music we listen to, the food we eat, just things like that always brought you back home. So yeah, those are some of the things that I use to reconnect me, being overseas, is care packages with things that, I used to I took for granted when I had them in front of me, so yeah, things like that, especially music too, in my time of serving, we had CDs or tape players, there was no iPods, so you couldn't just store a bunch of music. What you had is what you took. So yeah, having family members send me Vicente Fernandez CDs and things like that, or tapatio for the hot sauce for my food. I think those are the things that really connected me back to being back home in my Chicano heritage.
How could the military better support Chicano soldiers?
How can the military better support Chicanos? I think they're doing a great job, to be honest with you. I think when it comes to supporting, the Chicano community, the African American community, the Asian community, the Caucasian community, I think they're pretty well rounded on giving opportunities to all of those different cultures. What it comes down to is, we all are offered the same benefits, the same job opportunities. I think if anything, what they could maybe work on is reaching out to lower income areas or a little bit smaller towns, where there's more Chicanos that don't have the opportunities or that have the information about what are the benefits of joining the military. There's so many benefits that for one, they're giving you the opportunity to gain, knowledge, discipline, financial stability, as well as an education by your service. A lot of Chicanos, they don't know that. They don't know what they offer. You know, their first impression is going to war. You're gonna go to war. You're gonna die in war and things like that. But that's not even a fraction of what they're actually offering you. You know, the opportunity to go and serve your country, come out, you know, get the VA, the GI Bill, you know, go to school for free, be able to own a house and put nothing down. You know, these are all opportunities that most people will never that will never have. So, getting more information out to the Chicanos on what the military offers in those smaller rural areas where they don't have, you know, stores and schools, I think is ideal, is key. Is giving more information out to those areas where they have lack of information.
Okay. Lastly, what advice would you give to a young Chicano individual considering military service?
I honestly believe that everyone should do at least a year or two in the military. And once again, not for combat purposes or anything in that. I think it gives a good foundation for life. You know, it gives you a great foundation of, you know what, I need this structure in my life in order to pursue anything else that I'm going to look for in a career. You know, the discipline of being able to wake up and have a job that needs to be accomplished in a certain time. You know, being able to work with others to problem solve. You know, if there's a situation, okay, I can't figure this out on my own, I'm gonna depend on my team to help me accomplish this task, which is ideal for any major corporation or owning your own business out here in the world. You know, knowing how to take charge, be a leader. I honestly think that military service is what made me who I am today. It's given me the opportunities that I have, you know, to start my own business, my own successful business. They paid for my schooling, which I would have never been able to afford, and it paid for my home, my vehicle, everything that I have now. Everything that I have now. I'm a 45-year-old man with an amazing business where I get to do what I like to do and make a great living, spend time with my family and my friends, as well as become my own boss, be my own boss. I think the military is what did all of that for me, and I highly recommend, whether they're man or woman, to give it a shot. It doesn't have to be a certain branch, just to get that structure. And you know, if you don't like it and it's not for you, you're still getting something out of it. You're getting an education, a free education. You're getting the benefits that come with your military service. You know, no one says, you know, that, hey, you have to stay in and love it, because it's not for everybody. It's for some people, but not for everybody. It happened to be for me. I needed that structure in my life. Some people don't need that, but I think what it does offer is ideal for people who are confused and don't have the means to chase after the dreams that they are looking for in their careers. I think the military is a humongous stepping stone for those people who want to be successful in life that just don't have the means yet. So my advice to other Chicanos or Chicanas, if you're lost and you're confused and you don't have a structure or a plan to get to where you want to go, I think the military is 100% the direction you should go into.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.